Brian, I can definitely tell you that it's a very different scene than what we saw earlier today. Not too long ago, authorities removed a lot of the roadblocks that were put up in safety around the neighborhood. And that also means that we're able to get a lot closer to the scene. So right behind me is the house. A lot of the shortages that are making headlines today has actually been a growing problem for years. Events like 9/11 and accidents related to safety concerns has sparked a series of changes and requirement standards for existing pilots and incoming ones. On top of the pandemic's layoffs and early retirements have just made matters worse. Brian, a little after early results were posted and it did look like it was in Dr. Wilson's favor, that's when I reached out to Randy Christian, who was gracious enough to give us a comment on his reaction to the results. Take a look. Christian also went on to say how grateful he has been to be able to serve on the city council, and he's very proud of the accomplishments that he's been a part of. For now, right here on 82nd and Slide, Katie Gray, KMAC News. Well, Lauren, I can tell you that while there's not much going on behind me right now, earlier today, I promise you, there was a line of cars that stretched all the way around this corner with people just patiently waiting for their chance to get tested. I spoke to a couple people in that line, of course, from a distance, and they told me that a few of them had been waiting almost up to 3 hours. So that one of the robots can do many things. One of them is catch, so I guess we will see. Jean King grew up together in Scotland and incredibly both moved to the U.S. They have not seen each other in almost 7 decades, and yet they picked up right where they left off. While leaders push to make testing more affordable, what about accessible? I was calling to check to see if you guys have any of the COVID tests, like the at-home kits.
Unfortunately, we ran out of those, but we might have some by the end of the week.
I spent hours reaching out to pharmacies all over the city trying to find tests. Brian, the couple that owns Elote's Mexican restaurant say that they've felt extremely blessed and supported by the community, and putting it up for sale wasn't an easy decision to make. It came down to doing what's best for their families. Brian, I spoke with lawmakers and lawyers about the issue, and the thing is, there are very strong arguments on both sides of the table. Biden's administration is approaching the matter as a public health and safety issue, while many legislators say how they're going about it is all wrong. Well, I have to ask, you have to have a favorite ride. What is that? Speak a little bit about your organization and you being here today and being a speaker. Really curious to hear from your perspective on how the pandemic has kind of shaped the narrative when it comes to healthcare. Welcome back to Trends and Friends. I'm Katie Gray, and I am standing right here with Miss Tina Schooler. She is the founder of a new company, very exciting, it's very exciting, of Raider West Farms. Now, I know that you offer so much with your new company, but can you kind of tell me a little bit of like the essence and the foundation of it?
K News at 10.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us right here on KLVK News. New at 10, authorities releasing new details about a fatal crash earlier Friday morning near Crosbyton, and social media restrictions in Russia have people possibly risking their lives and freedom for the truth. Across the world, volunteers are reaching out to Russian citizens in an unusual way, trying to break through the censorship. From London, Roxana Sabari has the story. As the war rages on miles away, back here in the United States, the Biden administration announced a new strict standards to increase fuel efficiency as high as gas prices, as Russia's invasion of Ukraine have renewed calls to reduce domestic reliance on foreign oil. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says that the new rules will save Americans at the pump. Yesterday was so beautiful. Please tell me that we can expect the same today. This month, the Texas Board of Education is discussing a new testing requirement for new teachers. Teacher advocates are fighting against the plan. All of this happening amidst a nationwide teacher shortage. And KMAC's Maggie Glenn tells us why some are saying that the test may actually make it harder to fill a lot of the open positions. Chief Mitchell breaking down everything from homicide rates to death on our roads. And KMAC's Ryan Chandler spoke with the chief, who stressed 2 specific points where the public can take more responsibility for public safety. And before we go anywhere and call it a night, I wanted you to have a little bit of a treat treat because I know there's a lot of animal lovers here, right? So take a look at this little guy. The Cincinnati Zoo celebrating Rico, the Brazilian porcupine, as he turned 6 today. So the zoo threw him a picnic with all of his favorite snacks, and you can also see all of his little friends that were able to enjoy the party. Happy birthday, Rico, from all of us right here at KLVK. And that is all the time that we have for you for tonight. For more news at any time, definitely go and check out our website, everythinglubbock.com, and follow us on social media at KLVK News. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Shelby, a group of students in New York are being praised by their community after saving a dog's life by putting lessons from their science class to real-life use. 123 new cases of COVID in Lubbock County yesterday, much more encouraging than we have seen recently. Wow. Okay, Shelby. I'm so glad that we're having some milder conditions because, like I said, those cold negatives, those are not great for me. Keep it on KMAC. More news and weather straight ahead. We're local, live, and late breaking. Shelby, the weather has just been so beautiful over the last couple of days. Please tell me that is a trend that is going to continue. Take a look at all of the data about crime in Lubbock last year. You can see the full report on our website, everythinglubbock.com.
Getting recognition or award, you look at what's really there and why you really do what you do. And I know at the end of the day, I really do it because I love it.
West Texas native and former NFL player Oscar Shorten is being recognized by the National Football Foundation with getting inducted into their Hall of Fame. Switching to refereeing games instead of playing them on the national stage, he is now being honored for his outstanding work making sure everyone is playing by the rules.
You have to look, I like to work every position on the football field. I've worked every position in a game. In a high-level high school game or college game, there's not a position I haven't worked. It's really hard because you want to be fair and you want to treat the game the way it needs to be treated. But at the same time, you have to have the ability to see everything from all sides.
Shorten says that he believes everything happens for a reason, and for him, football has always been more than a game.
My dad told me something when I was young. He said, football's life. And I talk about this with my son. In football, I had a coach that his name was Coach Barty. He's in Arkansas. I think he coaches at Harding now. And he changed my life. In every football game, there are 4 or 5 plays that decide the game. And that's officiating too. The problem is that you don't know what those 4 or 5 plays are and when they're going to happen. So if you're given half effort, if you're loafing on one of those 4 or 5 plays, and that's one of the 4 or 5 plays that happens, you're not going to be prepared and the game may pass you by. Life's the same way. In your life, you may live your whole life and there may be 4 or 5 days that are the days that decide this is a game changer.
But Shorten says he wouldn't have it any other way.
I'll officiate football until I can't move. Though if they let me get a Segway and ride my Segway up and down the field, then I'll do it on my Segway.
And to those who know him, say he uses his insight to be fair and always just.
The thing I noticed about him is he's so great with people. He mentors young coaches that are learning how to coach. He helps kids and athletes learn the game of football. He's there to help facilitate the game and make it go smoother.
We had a great relationship. They didn't pull any punches as far as making certain calls.
Former Texas Tech player and coach Rodney Blackshear says that he wasn't surprised at all that Shorten is now in the Hall of Fame.
He's been able to utilize the talent that God gave him, and he just translated that again to refereeing and his passion for the game. And you can tell the way he approached his assignments, so to speak, over the years, it's the reason why he's where he's at right now.
Would you say, in all honesty, that you don't always agree, but you always respected him?
Oh, 100%, and that's the reality. And then that's one of the reasons why he's nominated and got into the Hall, because he's built that relationship. He understands what it's like to be a player / as in return being a coach, and understand you out there battling, you want to win, and you don't want the game to be decided by a referee, but he'll explain it to you. And that's why I told him, explain to my player. When you make a call, tell him why.
Katie Gray, KLBK News.